What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm your host, Brian Costa, and today we have a great episode in store for you guys. Joining me on the show is a fellow Bryant University student. I've known him for, a really long time, pretty much since, I first became a freshman at Bryant University. I'm also getting him on the show today because he is a big time Milwaukee Bucks basketball fan. So joining me on the show today is my good friend, Jack Boyden. Jack, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. After last night's game, not so well, but you know,
Yeah, that unfortunately is rough, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But first of all, just how have you been? Like, how's your summer kind of been going, dude?
I've been doing pretty good. My summer's been pretty good. Been back at work trying to get my real estate license. That's important to me right now. That's consuming up most of my time.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking a break, relaxing, enjoying summer.
Yeah. I was talking with Jack about this before the show. I remember I think when me and Jack probably first met at Bryant, and my God, it was in like one of the probably worst ways ever.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, I feel like we probably saw each other because we ended up living on the first floor on the same floor with each other freshman year. You were in suite 400, I was over in suite 414. So I feel like we probably had there's a chance we'd probably even already talked with each other. But I think the first like night that we probably ever got kind of acquainted with one another, I think it had to have been like the second or third night that we were ever on campus.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
think it was the day before the first day of classes. I swear to God.
It
And
was.
I remember I was literally just chilling out with my friends, Jake and Tyler, like who lived right next to me. Tyler Tucker obviously is a co-host on the show, as you know. Jake has also made some guest appearances as well. I'm just chilling out in their room, like with a bunch of other guys. We're just chilling out, playing some video games. It's getting like late at night. It's probably like 11 or so. Like we're all starting to kind of wind down, being like, all right, let's get ready for our first day of classes. And all of a sudden, like this weird smell starts to come through the floor. And it's at first, in my mind, it smelled kind of like burnt Easy Mac. Like, I don't know if you've ever kind of smelled that before, but I remember being in high school and like this kid, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to bully him, but he was in my brother's grade or one of those grades. And, he ended up, he forgot to put water in the Easy Mac and like we had a fire drill as a result of it. And it literally smelled like that at first. I was like, bro, who put Easy Mac in their micro fridge and like forgot to like do the thing? And I figured it was that. And then like a half an hour later, the smell of burning plastic turned to like burning metal. And I was like, okay, something is up. And like me and my friends, we're all looking at each other. We're just like, this does not seem right whatsoever. So I remember I go over to my RA and it was our RA at the time. It was Paul. I love
Paul, dude.
I
I
love
love
Paul, man.
Paul.
Dude,
I loved Paul. Paul was
Paul
the
was a
best.
Paul was a G, dude. I love Paul to death. Oh, there goes my clapper again. But we ended up going over to Paul, and I ended up saying to him, I was like, yo, dude, do you smell that? And he was just like, and at first, like in his room, you couldn't smell it, but I was like, dude, come into my room. And he ends up going in there and he goes, that is like really strong. And I was like, can you go like check that out? And he goes, yeah, but he said, it's probably nothing. Just go to bed and like, just get ready for your first day classes. I was like, all right, Paul, sounds good. I go to bed and I wake up to my roommate just being like, hey, Brian, like something's going on right now. The lights are on. And meanwhile, my ears are just like deafened from the
Oh,
blaring, just, oh my God, fire alarm. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And he literally just goes, man, we got to get out of here. I was like, what is happening? So everyone is like rushing down the stairs in their pajamas. Like everyone goes out into the main parking lot. The fire trucks are all pulling up. And I'm just looking at Paul. I'm like, so Paul, what the what the hell happened? And like we didn't know for a while. And turned out that an AC unit ended up like overheating. Or was like some old AC piece that like, definitely needed to be replaced. It wasn't replaced. And the thing just like, malfunctioned and started melting down.
oh my gosh.
I don't know if you knew that. The
I never
closet
knew
where,
that.
yeah, that's what it was. The closet where it was stored was the door right next to my bedroom. So I didn't have a room next to mine. It was the door right next to my bedroom. So that's why it smelled so strong in my
Oh my
room.
gosh.
And like I have asthma. I thought like I was gonna like choke on this stuff. I thought I was like gonna like choke in my sleep because it was like so strong in my room. And I remember I get back up to like there and like the smell hasn't gone away. They've like treated the fire, but like I'm like I can barely breathe in my room right now. My roommate was just like whatever. He like just dives into his sheets and just goes to bed. I was like it's like all right, dude, you do you. But I was like I'm looking at my roommates, Jake and Tyler, and we're just like, we can't do this. And you literally just come up and you guys, and it was you and Brian Wildman and a couple other guys. And you guys ended up saying like, hey man, if it's too bad in your room, you guys can stay here. And we were just like, thank you so much. And you guys were in a quad, but you guys, it wasn't full.
It was just me and Brian actually.
Yeah.
For a little bit. And then we added Thomas.
Yeah. And
that was like the trio.
Yeah. And I remember like, just like, we walk in there and like there were like 2 set up beds and like I brought my charger and everything in and I wake up and you were just like, what's up, man? I'm Jack. And like Brian was just like, what's good? And like we were talking, we were just like, man, what a shit show. But like, let's just get to freaking bed.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
It was awful, bro. But like I was probably the first time I met you. And then we talked like a lot throughout that as well. Just, just living on that floor. Dude, the 4th floor of Warren, man. Freshman year.
Was the best floor.
Oh my God.
Freshman year, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that was the best floor. No floor was matching that.
Dude, just all I could say, dude, the bathrooms. the stuff that would go down in the bathrooms on the 4th floor. It was ridiculous, bro.
Oh, I am sorry in advance because part of that was me.
Oh, no. I'm not saying I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying like not like not it being trash, but I was talking more about like just the stuff you would see going on in there. I remember one time. I remember one time me and I think I was like hanging out like down the room. I don't know if you remember Chris and Aiden on the 4th floor.
Yeah, poster, right?
Yeah, the poster kid. Yeah, I was hanging out with him, and we ended up going over into the bathroom, and I just see like 2 girls just passed out on the floor, and I was like, "What do we do?"
Oh my God!
It was like, should we call someone? But then someone came out and it was just like, they're fine. I was like, I don't think they're fine.
Yeah, I don't think they're fine at all. They're laying in the men's bathroom.
Yeah, I was like this. No, I swear to God, on the 4th floor, I don't think like the men's and women's bathrooms, like those signs did not matter.
Yeah, no, it was men and women on one side, men and women on the other side.
Yeah,
both genders were welcome in both bathrooms.
More like, I think it was more for the boys' bathroom. Anyone could go in, but like the girls' bathroom had that a little bit, but like the boys' bathroom was like, all right, whoever you want to bring in, just do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, dude, that 4th floor. That made college really good.
Dude, that was the best floor like ever. I swear to God. Like I still have like great memories about that. I remember like you obviously remember Brett.
Yeah, Brett. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Me and Brett, like I remember it was like the first day. Like I had followed like the tip of like keeping your door popped open. So I put a doorstop in just like for like people to stop by. And I was just like, oh, what's up, guys? Like if someone ever came by the room. And I remember Brett came by and he was just like, yo, man, I'm like, obviously I'm new here because, you are too. And he ended up saying to me, yo, you want to like just go around and like just like introduce ourselves? I was like, all right, bet.
Oh my gosh. So that's such a Brett thing to do, honestly. Dude, that is a really smart thing, to be fair, especially you.
So me and Brett, we just like walked around, like we were just like talking with everyone. It was like super chill. Like I met a bunch of people on the 4th floor that way, and it was really sick.
Oh my gosh. There were so many times you were in my room. And like,
oh my God.
Half the times I don't even remember. But like before this, we were going on Snapchat, like camera rolls and stuff. Yeah. And I was seeing so many memories that like, oh my gosh. I could not do another year of that though. Like my body could not take that. Oh my goodness.
Dude. I here's the thing. I probably agree with you there. That's probably for the best, but dude, just the memories of that was insane.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
So many good memories. Yeah.
I'm hoping college obviously looks a little bit more like that next year. I know that you were kind of talking about your situation, but Bryant, I think, just unleashed their, or not unleashed, but released kind of their like protocols for the fall. It looks like they said anyone who's fully vaccinated doesn't need to wear a mask on campus. Like or pretty much just like you're good. And I'm like, let's go.
Finally.
So, and I think they're requiring it. I think the only people who won't be able to who won't be doing it are people like that have like medical exemptions, I think. So, I think for the most part, it's going to look pretty normal on campus next year, which I'm very glad for.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for that, honestly.
Yeah. It's going to be
mask.
Good to see.
Oh my God.
Thank God.
I could not breathe in those things. Like I really couldn't.
Dude, I remember I went to the gym one time and I was like doing like the pull downs and stuff. And I remember I was like just going to my phone to like just change the music because I didn't like the song. And I remember I just started swiping through And then after like 5 minutes, I was like, why am I still swiping through my music? And I realized that I was probably like on the verge of passing out. So I was just like trying to do anything at that point.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember I just run out of the gym onto like the floor outside where the chairs are. And I literally just collapsed. And like some guy comes up to me and he just goes, "Oh my God, do you need water?" I was like, "Yes." Like, please help me.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I swear to God, like I think the mask and whatever it was, like I was wearing the gaiters too at the time. So I know
Uh,
people were saying like the effectiveness of those and stuff. But I remember I was wearing those and I literally thought I was like getting choked out. It was so bad for me.
I remember just being the mask all sweaty and everything.
Well, dude,
And then like I'm breathing in my own sweat. I'm like, oh my gosh.
well, dude, for me and you both, we had to deal with the masks with the glasses.
Oh my gosh, dude. I need windshield wiper for my glasses.
Yeah.
It's insane.
No, like, dude. I mean, I had had my glasses. The only time my glasses had fogged up that much in college was when I went to the townhouses the first weekend I was ever there, and I walked into a townhouse party, and just the heat of all the people in there, my glasses immediately just fogged up on entry.
Yep, that's exactly what happens. Especially when it was cold out too. You'd
Oh
go
my
from
God.
one temperature to another one. Oh,
Dude, I like my glasses would fog up immediately. All my roommates would see it happen. They would just start dying laughing. Like they
oh
thought it
my
was the
gosh.
funniest thing.
It was such a struggle.
Oh
Like
my
only
God.
people with glasses can understand that. It is such a
No,
struggle.
yeah. Yeah, no, I just don't wear them on the show because I'm like close enough to the camera. But yeah,
Mhm.
but dude, it was like, my God, that was such a force, dude.
Oh gosh.
I'm so
But
glad. I'm so glad that I mean, of all the years, sophomore year probably wasn't the worst year to lose.
yeah,
But I'm
because
just
it's
like,
you had to
yeah,
buckle down anyway.
yeah,
So
exactly.
like it gave us a better opportunity to buckle down.
Exactly. I mean, I ended up, for the most part, freshman year, I not freshman year, but sophomore year, I was pretty much able to see anyone that I had, was trying to see.
Hmm.
And I was able to see them like, in personal without masks, and it was very chill. That's kind of how that was. Going forward with it though, I mean, I'm pretty optimistic though. I'm hoping for the best here.
Yeah, I think this will be a good year, especially without the mask. It's going to be a good year.
I think so too.
I'm thinking very highly of this year.
I'm hoping for the same, dude. But obviously, the main reason I got you on the show today, Jack, you were reaching out to me trying to get on a show for a little bit. Originally, you had tried to do some soccer with me, and I would totally get you on for soccer. The only problem is that I do not know a damn thing about soccer, unfortunately. So I would just sound like a jackass the entire time.
It's
Just
all
being like,
good.
so I'm truly sorry for that. But then you ended up
It's all
mentioning to
good.
me that you're a pretty big Milwaukee Bucks fan, and they're kind of in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. They're doing, it unfortunately had a tough game last night, but but the series is currently tied 2-2. But before we kind of get into the series and all that stuff, how did you kind of become a Milwaukee Bucks fan? Like, how did this happen?
Man, it's just like I don't know. When I was really young,
Yeah,
I was grew up in a Celtics household too.
yeah.
But like when I was really young, I just picked Milwaukee and I stuck with it. And like my favorite player is Michael Carter Williams.
Oh
Most
my
people
God.
haven't heard of him, but now he's on the Orlando Magic, a
Michael
backup
Carter
point
Williams
guard.
is still playing basketball.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Bro, I thought he was like done like 5 years ago. My God.
Oh gosh, he was rookie of the year. Remember?
Yeah,
He was
with the
rookie of the
Sixers.
year with the Sixers. Really
Dude,
good, really
dude, his
promising.
debut was insane. Didn't he drop like 28 points or something?
Hmm.
Like he went off. I
He
remember
almost
his
had a
debut.
quadruple double one game too.
Really?
He was really close to a quadruple double.
Oh my
It was
God.
nuts, and then he just fell off.
Yeah, just off the face of the earth.
I think when he got traded to the Bucks, that was probably that was my best Bucks moment.
Yeah,
Because like my favorite player, my favorite team, it couldn't get better.
that's actually sick.
Except he did not do well. So
Unfortunately.
yeah.
Unfortunately. But dude, obviously the Bucks, since the days of Michael Carter Williams have excelled tremendously. It's insane how far they've come. I mean, just looking at a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, you look at what he was back in like 2013 compared to the monster that he is now.
Oh,
It's night and day with him. Like it's insane.
yeah. It's insane. Like the growth. You can literally see everybody talks about the physical growth, obviously, because he was a string bean.
Oh my
and
God.
now he is one of the most built people in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's quick. I mean, he could probably take 2 steps from the 3-point line. That's how insane he is.
Probably, yeah. I mean, he's like, I mean, it's like a Durant kind of thing where it's just like it isn't fair.
And it really isn't.
I think for Giannis right now, it's like if he can find that kind of a Durant jump shot, like watch out, because like
it's over
because he's developing it right now, and I respect the hell out of him for not just kind of like doing a Ben Simmons just and saying like well I'm just gonna score my way and that's how I'm gonna do it. Like Giannis is really making those strides to being like, hey, like sure I'm an MVP at this, but if I can get my jump shot down and I can be like a reliable guy from three, who knows what I could be like. So I respect the hell out of Giannis for doing that.
He's shooting less and less threes, but like he's shooting them when he's wide open because they won't guard her from three. And when he makes it and when he's hot, it's done.
Yeah.
You can't guard him because like you'd rather have Giannis shoot a jump shot than go inside.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you have no chance if Giannis goes inside. Maybe Embiid, but I don't see any other person stopping Giannis in the league.
Yeah.
Especially Clint Capella. My goodness.
Dude. My God.
I do not like Clint Capella.
No?
Really don't.
Why?
I respect his game, but like he cannot score. He's a rebounding machine, offensive and defensively. Really good defensive center. He's very long. Like his arms hang almost to his knees. Like it's nuts. It's just he had a really good shot. Yes, really lucky shot versus Brook Lopez yesterday. Yeah. I was so mad. I was like screaming at my TV. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. No, I mean, they've just been. I mean, it's been crazy to see. I mean, the Bucks for a long time, I think people were kind of like touting them and being like, oh, this is the year the Bucks take the step. But unfortunately, LeBron James existed for a while.
Yeah,
and that kind of did some stuff. And it was always like, when are the Bucks going to make this move? And they seem like they're starting to ascend right now. Now, in your mind, like, there have been Bucks teams like this that have kind of made runs like this in the past and have fallen short. In your mind, what kind of separates this Bucks team from like ones that you've kind of seen in the past? Like, what kind of is different than, like a team of like 2018 or 2017 or even like 2019?
Well, we have that MVP star now. We haven't had one since like Kareem and Oscar Robertson. That's it. We had Michael Redd, but he wasn't an MVP. Sidney Moncrief back in the day was good, but nothing like Giannis right now. And like we've got a really big team, which is good. Not a lot. Teams are playing small ball. We're still playing big. Because we have Brook Lopez and Giannis in the starting lineup. 6'11" and like 7'1". And Brook Lopez can shoot now. Yeah. I don't know how, but he can.
I that's another thing too. Brook Lopez, like he completely switched up his game. He went from a guy that like a Ben Simmons or just like Shaq, like you were never going to expect Shaq to pull up from three. That's what you expected out of Brook Lopez. I think the guy, like in the first like 7 years of his career, like made like, it was like, I think he hit like under 100 or so threes or something like that. And now he's hitting like over like 100 a year. It was like some like weird stat like that he was doing. Like he completely
Splash Mountain, man. Splash Mountain.
He completely switched up his game. And, frankly, man, credit to him. Cause I know guys like Andre Drummond have tried to do that and they failed at doing it. So, Brook Lopez, if he didn't switch up that game, he might not be in the NBA right now. Like, his style may not have worked if, he was just still that power down low guy that he was kind of in Brooklyn. And, credit to him, man.
He was really good in Brooklyn. Like he was the man on that team for a while.
He was great in Brooklyn. But if you think about it, his shooting was non-existent there, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. But like now he's developed to that shooter around Giannis. And the Bucks have got a lot of good shooters. Some great ones like Chris Middleton, Bryn Forbes. Drew Holiday's emerging as a shooter, but he's more there for defense.
Yeah, and he's more of an old school kind of point guard.
Yeah. But we need that. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah. You want guys to be able to pass the ball around. Drew Holiday kind of does that really well. So, I mean, he passed it around. It's really nice.
Yeah, he passes it around good. And he's also big. So he can back up. He can post up most point guards.
Yeah.
Which is great. He did that in the Brooklyn series a lot, which helped us eventually. That last game was crazy.
Oh, my God.
I had my friend here, and when Katie hit that shot, I thought it was a three. I was sitting on my floor, like practically crying. But like, he said, like, "Oh, it's a two, it's a two." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank gosh." And then we didn't score. We didn't score in overtime till like a minute 30 left.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh, history.
Katie's big ass feet literally saved the day.
I know. God. They saved the day, man. Just not for what's it called. Not for the Nets.
No, not for the Nets. It saved the days for you guys. But
Oh yeah.
that was crazy to see. I remember watching that. I didn't see the buzzer beater. I didn't see like the shot for overtime. But I ended up like seeing what was left over to overtime. And I'll give credit to KD. He was gas at the end in that.
Oh yeah.
But dude, I was so glad they knocked the Nets off. Thank God.
I did not want the Nets to win because their team was too good, and they can't have that team next year.
No,
they can't do the contracts and all that unless people take a pay cut, which they probably will. But I don't see Kyrie lowering his ego for a pay cut.
No, absolutely not.
And KD maybe, but why would he?
Mm-hmm.
KD was honestly the best player in that series, and I have a lot of respect for KD because he carried that Nets team. He was there the whole time. James Harden got injured the first game within 7 seconds of the first game. Then Kyrie. Everybody says Giannis did that on purpose. He didn't. If he's going to do something on purpose, look how big he is.
Yeah,
he's going to shove Kyrie or something to the ground. He's not going to put his foot out.
Yeah, he's at least going to break bone, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Giannis can pack a punch.
Exactly. Kyrie has weak ankles too because of his play style. Mm-hmm. So that's what's going to happen to him. It's unfortunate, but
it's just the Bucks. It's just the reality of it.
Yeah, the Bucks stayed healthy. I mean, of course, till last night, but I still got faith. We can win Game 5. I know we can. Mm-hmm. Game 6, I'm not sure about. If we get Giannis back, I bet we can.
Yeah.
And then home games we could win.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
I mean, that is really the story right now. I mean, I was going to talk about kind of Chris Middleton. He's, really emerged as a solid number 2 for you guys. I mean, that's
oh my gosh.
That has been one of the, crazy things I've seen out of him. It's awesome to see from him.
He's throughout the years, he's been on and off because he was drafted as a Piston.
Yeah.
And now didn't work out. He's in Milwaukee. He's turning into a star, and he became an all-star, I think, it was either last year or 2 years ago. I forgot. He was an all-star when the Bucks were the top of the conference. Mm-hmm. And he was very good. His shooting was lights out. And he can hit those tough shots, those clutch shots. That's why that Giannis can't do. So that's why our team works so well. Because Giannis can't do those clutch shots at the end. Maybe in the post, yeah. But if we need a 3, it's going to Chris Middleton. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not going to Giannis. Or if we have Bryn Forbes in there, who's actually emerged this year a lot, which I give a lot of credit to him. But Chris Middleton this year, he stepped up his game perfectly.
Yeah. It's been a perfect addition for you guys. And, I saw him go off for those 38 points that other night. That was insane to see. I mean,
Game 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 20. He scored more points than the Hawks did in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's and he was I was watching that game. He was just on. There was nothing that could stop him.
No, it was ridiculous.
You could put Kawhi on him, wouldn't stop him at that point.
Okay.
That as a Bucks fan, I'm gonna say that.
Okay. I'm gonna call Cap. I'm gonna call Cap on that, but I don't know there.
All right. That's what, Chris Middleton, I have faith in him.
Okay. I'll give you that though. I can at least give you that you have faith. I can definitely tell that.
Oh my gosh.
But man, in terms of the whole series in general, Bucks Hawks, it's currently 2-2. You were kind of hinting at it earlier. Unfortunately, Giannis did go down with that knee injury. I don't think it's really known right now what it's going to look like with him. What his timetable for return is, because I think it's a hyperextension. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's something you could put a brace on. I don't know if I don't know what the kind of recovery is or something like that. But they ended up losing the series last night. So the series is tied right now. You do feel comfortable about a Game 5, and then going forward, how does this injury in your mind kind of change your thoughts on this series?
Well, it changes a lot because Giannis is our main guy. He is he is the MVP of our team. He is. Oh my gosh, when that happens, oh gosh.
Well, I mean, you would think it changes a lot, but there's also the thing too with Trae Young now being out for the Hawks.
I heard that was a smaller injury, but once Giannis is out, I kind of figured we were going to lose that game because we've never seen the Hawks without Trae Young. Mm-hmm. And Trae Young is ball heavy. He will either lob it, pass it to his floater, or his just go way back 3. Mm-hmm. Respect to him. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
he's just, I don't know how they beat the Sixers. I really don't. I'm very happy because I believe if we played the Sixers, we would have lost.
Yeah.
They were a good matchup for us.
That would have been a really nice matchup.
Yeah. But like, I think we can win game 5 with or without Giannis. I think he should take a break. And if we're losing, come in. If you're healthy enough. But like, don't injure yourself like KD did. What, 2019.
That was 2019.
Yeah, don't do that. Then you'll ruin your career. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, like, here's the thing that kind of sucks with Giannis. Like, Paul, we were talking about him developing his jump shot. He still is reliant on kind of working inside and doing a lot of stuff like that, though, unfortunately, which, if it was a guy like Steph Curry, where, he hurts his knee, or like a Klay Thompson, even where he hurt his knee, you could stick that guy maybe over in the corner, rely on some 3-point shots, do some stuff like that. And, maybe you could, squeak out some points from them and do something like that. But when you have a guy that's so reliant on going down low and that's your main scoring option, and this NBA, and when that person goes down, it's killer.
Yeah, it really is. Like the Lakers with AD, remember? Yeah. The Lakers with AD, that was nuts.
Yeah. Like if Chris Middleton had that injury and like he was out, you might be able to, roll him out there, use him as a spot up shooter, and kind of just use him in spot situations.
Easily, because he's a shooter.
Exactly.
He could pull up from 3 and a little back and make it. That's his role on the team. But with Giannis, like, he bangs in the inside. He's very physical in the inside. He needs his knee a little more than other players do.
Unfortunately.
But, like, don't get me wrong, you're going to need your knee to play basketball. But, like, him just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially with his spin moves. Like,
oh, yeah. No, I mean, you're putting so much torque on that knee. There's so many things that go into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought that this series, though, was going to turn into the battle of Chris Middleton versus Clint Capella?
That just sounds so bad. It really does.
I mean,
but like,
you want to talk about the NBA marketing team having a nightmare? This is probably the worst thing that could have ever happened for them, which is kind of hilarious. I mean, looking at the whole playoffs in general, though, the Bucks are really the only last kind of notable team that people would have expected in the situation. I don't actually mind that because Milwaukee's a small enough market team as it is, so it kind of works. But these have been some of the most exciting playoffs that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, honestly, it's been insane. The Suns beating the Lakers, I didn't expect that at all.
Thank God, though. I hate LeBron. I'm sorry. But,
it's fine.
They knocked LeBron off. That was perfect. I really hope. I mean, I know you're rooting for the Bucks this year. If the Bucks go down or by any measure, I hope that you join me in becoming a Suns fan for the NBA Finals.
I will be. I do not want the Hawks to win, and I certainly don't want the Clippers to win. I do not like Paul George at all.
I really want Chris Paul to get a ring. I want that so bad.
He deserves it. Yeah. He's a really great player. Still is at his age. Still.
Like people were thinking like, oh, he's old. Like he's just like going to be a vet. People thought it was going to be like just a veteran ring chasing at this point. But it's like, no, like he isn't like Gary Payton when he was with the Heat winning a championship in 06. Like,
oh my gosh.
Like Chris Paul can like still like, play and like play at a high level too, which is awesome.
He catapulted that Suns team. That Suns team was good in the bubble. They had the last good run in the bubble. Well, they think they were 9-0, almost made the playoffs, didn't. But like then when Chris Paul's on the team, you see this difference.
Yeah, it's insane.
DeAndre Ayton's doing a lot better. Booker's doing better. That whole team defensively is doing better too. That team's looking unstoppable.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Clippers squeezed 2 out of them. I really don't.
I really don't. Especially without Kawhi and all that stuff too. I mean, there's so many things that have gone into it. I'm actually really excited for, everything that might go down with that because I don't know, just the playoffs in general this year. You would have thought like, oh, LeBron got knocked out, Embiid got knocked out, the Celtics and Kyrie and KD and that super team got knocked out. Now the playoffs are going to suck, but it's like I'm kind of having the time of my life watching these games. Like this is some of the most exciting basketball I've had, in a while.
The game 7s, dude, have been crazy. They really have. They've been good, close games.
I mean, I don't know if this is kind of the feeling that you've had with it, but the NBA playoffs kind of feel like March Madness right now.
They do. I feel it, especially as a Bucks fan, because we're still in it. So it feels good to actually root for your team. And like, granted, when we lost to the Raptors 2 years ago, that was tough. Yeah. Kawhi just played better. It was Kawhi, and like now it's just Trae Young, and not even Trae Young right now. It's Clint Capella.
Yeah,
and like Clint Capella, really? Like, oh, we had the series in the bag. I still think we do, but it's going to be a lot tougher without Giannis.
Oh yeah, 100%. Here's the thing. I think I talked about this on one of my other shows. I don't think you've ever met him. Maybe you did once, but it was like during freshman year, so I doubt it was. He actually doesn't go to Bryant. His name's John Warren. He is I did a show with him. We brought him on campus. We did a show with him, Carter, and Tyler at the studio. It was like really cool. It was one of the episodes that we actually never recorded on camera, but we recorded it on the studio mic. So it's audio only.
Mm-hmm.
And on there, I remember he made such an outlandish take because we were doing a playoff takes for the 2020 season. So last season, the year the Lakers won, and we were just like, all right, John, 2020 surprise picks. Who's your team out of the East? And he goes, honestly, I got the Hawks. And we were just like,
what the heck?
We were just like,
what?
John, we were like, John, what are you talking about? And we looked at the stats at the time. The Hawks were in second to last place in the East. We were just like, John, what the hell were you thinking? And he just goes, I don't know, man. Trae Young's been hot. Watch out for him.
What?
And his prediction came true, but it was a year later in a completely different season.
Wow.
I mean, here's the thing. That's kind of like saying, oh man, the 2012 Boston Red Sox are going to be the best team in baseball. When, last year they were in last place in the AL East, and then they go into 2013 and they win the World Series. So, I mean, no one expected the Hawks rather, to explode in the way that they did. But, there are just so many things that have gone into it too. The acquisition of Clint Capella has been much larger than I would have ever imagined. I thought that Clint Capella was going to go off to the Hawks and he was just going to die there, unfortunately, because, I thought it was just going to be like a wasteland and that was just going to be the end of him. But just that team had turned it around so quickly. And I know you're a Bucks fan, but I did want to just kind of give them credit for that. But it's crazy to see.
No, I give them credit. They had the Knicks, fine. I predicted that the Hawks would win versus the Knicks.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Knicks won a game at least, get the city of New York happy. Exactly. And then I don't think a single person had the Hawks over the Sixers. Like, that was, God, Ben Simmons showed his true colors. That's all I'll say. He screwed up that series.
He did. That is for sure. I mean,
he can't shoot.
No, he can't. And I think everyone has finally had enough with it, because you're seeing all the stuff on ESPN coming down now, and it's just like, this guy's being babied. He needs to like deal with it. And like everyone is like now just coming after Ben Simmons. And well, I kind of feel bad for the guy. I'm like, dude, you're in the NBA. You need to at least be able to, make a reliable jump shot.
Or even just like mid-range. Like, you can't even shoot mid-range. It's that bad.
I'm not asking to be Steph Curry from the line and knock down like 5 threes a game. I'm not asking to be that guy and like be a monster from 3, but just be a guy that, don't make it embarrassing when you're taking the ball up the court and the other teams immediately just flood the paint because they're like, okay, dude, we know who you are. You're not going to do anything on us.
I remember when that first happened, that was probably the funniest thing and the most sign of disrespect.
Oh my God. Like, it was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
They literally said, we don't care. Go ahead, shoot it. We're going to get the rebound.
And he couldn't make. I remember he made one. I think it was preseason. He made a 3.
He made one in preseason. I think he made one against like the Knicks. He has made 1 3-pointer, but I think that's it.
That's it. And it's
I think like 1 or 2, but because they were like trying to try him out there, and then he was like, I can't do this. And the thing with Ben Simmons that like really just pisses me off is that he seems, from all the word you hear about him, he's like apparently like such a hard worker. Like, when he was at LSU apparently, and working his way to become the number 1 pick in the draft, he was literally doing the exact bare minimum requirement to stay in his classes. I think the minimum you have to be academically eligible, it's like a 1.49 or something, like GPA. It's like absurd. And
take the opportunity at college.
No, like, I mean, here's the thing. He knew he was going to be the first pick in the draft, and he knew he was going to be straight out of it. And he's literally just doing the bare minimum to get by in his classes. And as soon as his team was out of the tournament, as soon as they were out of playoffs, he literally never went to another class again. And he went to the gym every single day at LSU just to go and practice, because he was like, you can't do anything. You can't say I'm academically ineligible now because the season's over. So I'm just not gonna go to classes. I'm paying. I'm here on scholarship. I'm just gonna go and work out here. And that's what he did when he was at LSU. And you'd think for a guy like that, he'd try to get some shots up, but instead he still can't hit a freaking.
That's his mindset. That's the mindset. That's the difference between Giannis and Ben Simmons. Both of them couldn't really shoot.
No.
And now only Giannis can't really shoot that well, But like,
He's at least
you have to
trying.
guard Giannis from mid-range. You don't have to guard Ben Simmons from mid-range.
But Giannis is at least trying too.
Yeah. He's putting the work in.
Like if Ben Simmons was putting the shots up and they're just not going down, it's like, all right, man, we get you're putting the work in. It's gonna be a grind. It's gonna get there. Ben Simmons is afraid to take the shots. He's not taking them.
No confidence at all.
He's not even attempting them, dude. That's what's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, at least try for it. And, I think everyone is just through with this guy now at this point, and it's crazy to see. I think I saw on ESPN, they were saying that, make a package where you trade Ben Simmons off to the Portland Trailblazers, try to get Damian Lillard to Philly, and try to make that super team. I really hope that doesn't happen because
the Sixers will have the East. The Sixers will have the East 100%.
But I think I heard either Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman talking about that.
Yeah, there's that. The Timberwolves, which I think that's the only good fit for him right there. Because the Timberwolves need defense.
For Lillard? No.
For Simmons. Lillard, no. Lillard could fit. All right, Lillard could fit in any team.
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
I was about to say, there's not a better team for Damian Lillard than the Timberwolves.
No.
I was like, damn, he's going from one like Trailblazers to another. Pretty much.
No, don't go to the Timberwolves, Damian Lillard. No. But like, obviously, I want him to go to the Bucks. I pretty much am positive it won't happen. But there's still that little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But like, I hear he wants to go to the Jazz. The Jazz or the Lakers. I think there are the two teams he wants to go to.
So the Lakers.
I heard it. Like, yeah, why don't go to the Jazz? Jazz, that wouldn't be a bad team play, but like him and Donovan Mitchell, that'd be a scary backcourt.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
I would love to see that.
I don't know what you have to give up for that. You definitely have to give up Rudy. You'd have to give up Blake. I can't even think of who you have to give up.
Oh my gosh. How many young guys do they have? They don't have a lot of young guys, do they?
I mean, not a ton of young ones of like notability.
Probably. No, not even Connolly's contract. They probably have to give up Connolly because of his contract.
Well, and to get rid of that point guard position, they'd probably have to do a combination of like Conley. The Jazz would probably say, hey, we'll eat up his contract money if you guys take him. Well, they'd probably do like Conley. I don't think they'd want to give up Gobert, but they'd have to give up like one of their big men and then like two or something first, I think.
Yeah, probably. A lot of draft picks would have to go into that.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
again,
I can't even imagine what that would be. The Lakers, on the other hand, will just say, okay, screw it.
Yeah, the Lakers are just money. They're made of money. I really thought with Andre Drummond, they were going to be the team to beat. And was I wrong? Andre Drummond fell off.
My God.
Gosh.
I'll say this,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, like, in Cleveland, like, he was a great rebounder even. Like,
oh, yeah.
Now he's not even that as much.
No, it's
and
terrible.
He has no jump shot. He's getting exposed for it.
No, and unfortunately, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
You go to the prime time, lake show, you go Hollywood, and every little thing is going to be under the microscope.
Yeah.
So it's finally getting examined for. He's finally getting examined for, I guess, what he truly is.
Yeah.
And you can also say the age and stuff too, but it's
I don't know.
It's kind of apparent.
He's kind of like, he reminds me of Clint Capella.
Yeah.
Except Clint Capella is better right now than he is.
Yeah.
And like, I think Clint Capella, this is a team for him. He needs to stay on this team. The Rockets team was good too because he had James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he needs that superstar that's able to have that vision, I think.
Yeah.
Because he can be good on offense, getting lobs. And some inside work, he's got to work a little bit more, but like, that's not hard to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But Clint Capella can be good. He just, I don't know. Trae Young really made that team.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they got Bogdanovich. I think that's the first name.
Yeah, I think it's Boyan.
Boyan. Okay. The brother or whatever is on the Jazz.
I have no idea.
Yeah, either way. He was supposed to be on the Bucks. We had that trade settled, but we announced it too early, so we couldn't get him. Oh, that was a big thing, and that pissed me off.
That was stupid.
Because that was the piece we needed.
Going down. I remember that going down. That was like the dumbest thing.
That was the piece we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine we had Drew Holiday, Bogdanovich, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez, DiVincenzo, who's actually out right now. But
oh shoot, I forgot about Dante DiVincenzo, bro.
Yeah,
Villanova Wildcat for life.
I did not like him coming to the draft too.
Yeah.
Like I was telling, because me and my boys were watching the draft. I was like, all right, this is the one player I don't want the Bucks to draft because I just don't like him.
Yeah.
But like he turns out he's really good.
Yeah.
Except we need him right now. But
yeah.
It's whatever. I think the Bucks could do this.
Yeah.
The Hawks.
I think they definitely have a shot.
Yeah. If Giannis can get back at least for game 6, I think we've got it.
No, I agree too. Now, I mean, around the NBA just in general, like we were kind of talking about it, the playoffs just been off the chain. Like, we were talking about Devin Booker. We didn't even get a real chance to talk about Devin Booker kind of exploding the way he has. He's been an absolute star. But, other storylines around the NBA have also been swirling. We kind of also hinted at Damian Lillard, kind of, not knowing what's going to be up with him, possible trade rumors. Because I guess he's disgruntled with the organization's pick for the head coaching thing. They ended up getting Chauncey Billups, which I actually kind of wanted the Celtics to take a look at. But I guess I don't know if Lillard was kind of kept out of conversations and it was like, hey man, we're gonna do the coach for you. You don't do a thing for us. And like I don't know I have no idea what went into it. But I guess Lillard's like really pissed at the organization. Now Lillard, if you want to go to an organization where I don't know, the players are going to try to do their best for you, the Boston Celtics, right around the corner. We got some pretty young stars, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. You got the Time Lord.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna lie, I've been hating on Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
I've never liked him, but like, I'm sorry, this year he's emerged. I don't think he'll be a future MVP just because of the other young stars in the league.
Yeah.
But he's definitely up there. You can be in that conversation 5 years from now, a couple of years from now. Even.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what people are trying to do with him because, he's only 19 years now.
No. Oh my god.
But at the same time, though, he is only 23, which is kind of crazy to think that he's having this level of success at such a young age. So, like, while I don't think that I don't think the Jason Tatum we saw last year, could be like an MVP 5 years down the line, if he's still kind of on that upward trajectory, look out for him.
Yeah.
I think I'll say
the young stars. The young stars in this league are just like especially this playoffs have emerged. Jason Tatum, he had a 50-point game, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think so. Versus the Nets,
he had a couple,
and he was. Oh my gosh. Trae Young, obviously, talked about him. Devin Booker, he's now getting the recognition he deserves. But this is a take. I feel he's getting a little overrated right now. I think I really do. I like Booker as a player. Don't get me wrong. Like they're comparing him to Kobe and all that.
Oh,
he is not Kobe, man. I
think that was a little bit blasphemous from Stephen A. Smith. Like, listen. Do I think that Devin Booker has the intangibles, like the physical intangibles to kind of like replicate Kobe Bryant's game? Sure. I think that physically he might be able to do something like that. But the Mamba mentality, I really feel like that's unmatched.
You can't have that. The closest who's put in that much work is probably LeBron. And LeBron said it. Kobe put more work in than LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I also think, oh gosh. You're probably gonna hate me for saying this. I think Kobe was a little overrated. I really do. I believe Shaquille O'Neal was better than Kobe.
Yeah, I think in the early part of the dynasty, I think that was kind of the arguable thing to say.
Yeah, but people because it was got the MVPs, remember?
Because it was Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It wasn't Kobe and Shaq. It was Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, but then like Kobe obviously emerged later on, and top. Second best shooting. I can't think of another shooting guard better besides Michael Jordan.
It has in my mind. It has to go Michael. It has to go Jordan, Kobe, and then Dwayne Wade. I think.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade is extremely underrated. Yeah, extremely. Like remember that Miami team? Shaq wasn't prime Shaq, and Gary Payton certainly wasn't prime Gary Payton.
No, he was literally at the end of his road. But you think of with Shaq, I think was still technically in his prime, but he was hurt that year.
He had that. He's always had a toe injury for a while. That was his demise.
Yeah,
But
and
like,
he was out for a majority of that season. So I think Shaq, I think he was technically in his prime, but I think we weren't seeing the best of him because he was injured.
and Dwayne Wade exploded.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's actually like Dwayne Wade now? Donovan Mitchell. Everybody said this, but
I love Donovan Mitchell, man. I think of all the people that would be closer to Kobe. I think Donovan Mitchell is a closer
I
guy to
agree.
Kobe than I think Devin Booker is.
I agree. That athleticism too.
Yeah, when I saw Donovan Mitchell like as a rookie, I was like, all right, Jason Tatum I think is my favorite rookie, but Donovan Mitchell is like right up there. Like in terms of non-Celtics players, Donovan Mitchell is my favorite non-Celtic player.
Yeah, non-Bucks players. Dang,
I would get a Donovan Mitchell jersey tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I respect Donovan Mitchell because like even in the bubble, like the work he put in, it was him versus Jamal Murray. That was like I felt so bad for him when that Mike Conley shot rolled around the rim. Oh, I felt so. You could tell and look in his face how much work he put in.
Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah,
I think he's most like Kobe.
No, I agree too. I think I think Kyle Korver, he did it. I think it was after I think Donovan Mitchell, he missed like a game-winning shot in the playoffs and it like knocked them out. And I remember Kyle Korver like did a post-game interview and he said, listen, no one is going to put in more work than Donovan Mitchell. He is going to be a name to be like met. He's going to be a guy to be reckoned with in like, the next couple years. Watch out for him because he is going to be a menace.
Yeah.
And I remember when he said that, I was like, I believe him because I know what Donovan Mitchell can do talent wise, but he's put it in and I respect the hell out of him for it.
Yeah. Like the work he's put in and like he was, I wouldn't say he was a star from the get-go. He was the rookie of the year. I think he was rookie of the year, right? For his class. Oh no, wasn't it Ben Simmons that year?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
that whole BS. I remember that was so stupid.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, look at now. Donovan Mitchell is better than Ben Simmons.
Yep.
It's insane. I remember there were reports coming out like a year ago or something like the Jazz said, if you tell anybody about this workout we had with Donovan Mitchell, you're fired. You're never coming back to this organization. Because like they picked the right one, honestly.
Oh my God. It was the perfect pick. And very smart of them too to keep that under wraps.
Mm-hmm. The fact that he can play so much team ball.
Oh my God.
Like he's very good honestly, I think he's good under any system. You can have him as the number one guy and go all the way. I really think he can. Yeah. And like this Jazz team, like Rudy Gobert, you saw his flaws towards the end of their playoff run.
Well, I mean, you also saw his flaws when it came to, starting the whole COVID-19 pandemic in the NBA.
Gosh. I do feel bad for him for that one thing, but why the hell what was going on? Don't rub your. He rubbed his hand on the mic.
He rubbed his hands on the mic. He was like kind of like playing God with it. I was like,
yeah.
And
then he got COVID.
Well, dude, even in the even in the early parts of the pandemic, where I was kind of like, I don't know how serious this thing is going to be. I was in my mind, I'm just like, that's still like terrible. You're still setting yourself up for like terrible karma.
Yeah.
Like even when we had no idea what COVID was going to be, and like we thought it could have very well just been like the next flu. Like, why are you doing that though?
Yeah.
It's like,
I get like you're trying to
kind of
think COVID isn't there, but like, dude, look what happens. Like he received so much backlash for that.
Oh my God. Man shut down the entire NBA.
I know. Oh,
I loved those memes.
Those were so funny. Those had me dead. Oh my gosh.
Do you remember where you were when the NBA like got shut down?
I don't remember. Was I home from I think I was home from college.
It was our spring break week. We were home.
Yeah, I think I was just home. And I turned on SportsCenter in the morning, like, no more NBA. Like, no way. This can't be this serious.
Yeah.
And then look what it turned into.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I remember when it all kind of went down. I was out skiing with my friends Adam and Anthony. We were up at Wachusett Mountain, which is a local mountain near us, and we were coming back, and we ended up like stopping at an Applebee's, and we were just chilling out in there. And my mom at the time was saying like, hey, like just come straight home, like, or if you're gonna grab something, just grab fast food, like don't sit down anywhere. We were just like, whatever, we're just gonna go to Applebee's. And, and of all the places to go before COVID shut down, we went to an Applebee's. I'm like, of all the freaking places. And I'm just
my God.
like the food there, like I like Applebee's. Like I know you've done better, but man, the food that night was awful.
Yeah.
And
Jeez.
we're just sitting there, and you just see and you look on the TV, and it just goes, Rudy Gobert has tested positive for the coronavirus. The NBA has been and like
Oh.
well, no, I think the initial report, it came out that Rudy Gobert tested positive for COVID, and like that was a report on its own. And then like 30 minutes later, like it was just like Adam Silver has suspended the league. I was like, you can do that?
I think the last game was a Mavs game. I'm not sure if they ended that one early, but I remember that being the last game.
Well, I think
It was a
I think
Mavs versus something else, and I think they might have stopped. I forgot what happened to it.
I don't think they stopped it. I think they let it play out because
And that
the
was
game was already going on. They stopped other games though from starting though.
yeah. There was another West game after it.
I think it was Pelicans.
Pelican. Okay,
I think it
you're
was like
probably right.
I think it was like Pelicans and Jazz.
Yeah, I was thinking the Jazz were in it. Okay, yeah.
I think that was the game, and they ended up shutting it down. I was like, you got to be kidding me right now.
Mhm.
In my mind, I was like, the people are already in the stadium. Like, just let it play out. Like,
Yeah. But it's whatever. But
I
like,
mean, it looks like we're out of it now, but dude, just stuff in general. Like another big story in the NBA, I wanted to touch on you with. You know, we were talking about the Boston Celtics. It looks like right now they are like they ended up making their coaching selection. They ended up signing Ime Udoka to become the next head coach of the team. I don't really know too much about this guy. I know that he'd worked with Greg Popovich in the San Antonio Spurs. I know that he's also was with the Nets organization last year. I know that he's a former player. Do you know anything about this guy, or if not, I'll let you.
Yeah, I do remember he was the Spurs assistant, which is why he's probably got the Celtics job.
Yeah,
He was
fair.
he was a Philly assistant, I think, last year before Brooklyn.
Really?
And then he became a Brooklyn assistant. I don't really know about his play style. I really don't. I don't know how he's going to coach the Celtics. But the Celtics, as much as I hate to say this, have a really good roster. And that Kemba trade, I understand why they did it. Like, you got Moses Brown out of that, but like that first round pick was tough to give up.
It's a tough first round pick to give up, but here's the thing with the NBA draft: once you get to those middle rounds, once you get to the middle of that round, the picks don't really
matter that much.
Well, it kind of becomes a flip of a coin. Like you can get you can do a Utah Jazz and get it Donovan Mitchell at I think pick 15, or you can go out and then you get Terry Rozier. Which
exactly.
Which
oh my goodness.
All the best for Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier is great, but it's like you can clearly see that there's a difference in the type of player you can get. Or you can get a complete bust.
Yeah.
I remember RJ Hunter.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I never thought he was going to be good.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking. But I remember we selected him in the middle rounds, and it's like, okay.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
Exactly.
This draft is over. We should have just traded this pick for a bag of chips.
Exactly. So I'm hopeful for the pick. I think that, I am glad that Brad Stevens is sticking around. I do like him going to the president of basketball ops because I think he is a good basketball mind. And I don't think the Celtics should lose him because I think what he knows about the game is really valuable. But unfortunately, it really pisses me off. But Tatum and Brown really just turned him off. And they really just stopped listening to the guy, which I think had you listened to the guy, maybe you wouldn't be getting swept out of all these rounds and, looking all sorts of embarrassed against these teams. Like, I think that, I don't know, but it also kind of falls on Brad Stevens' shoulder too. Cause you looked at Brad Stevens when he would go to coach these guys and he seemed so timid in the huddle. Now he may know a lot, but guess what? When you need to call a guy out on his shit, you need to do it.
Yeah.
And
you need to have the balls, man.
And I don't think Brad did. I think that he knows a lot, but he didn't do it when it mattered, and that cost him.
Yeah.
Now I'm if Ime is able to get through these guys and say, hey, you want to win a championship? This is how you do it. I've done it a couple times. Take my lead. Then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I would have much rather seen a guy like Chauncey Billups just because I had known him a little better get the job. But if this guy is equally as good or even better, let's go. Now
I think honestly he should have gone with the Blazers personally.
Ime?
Because I feel like Damian Lillard would have liked him.
Yeah.
And probably would have picked him. But I just think that Blazers team, they need to rebuild.
Yeah.
They just need to Damian Lillard much as Portland fans want to keep him, you need to trade him. And like he did, wow. And like in my opinion at least, he ended the OKC. He ended OKC. He ended their whole team.
Franchise.
That is nuts. Like that's one player did that. And it's crazy. And like the double overtime game versus the Nuggets. Oh God.
So many memories, but I think it is time for him to end it in Portland.
I don't think one Portland fan would be mad if he left.
No.
Because what he did for that organization. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Now I know we had kind of hinted at this also kind of before the show because we were talking about it other times that we had met at school, and I think the first time that we may have met but didn't introduce each other was at our Bryant orientation. And at the Bryant orientation, we were like, man, I will just say before we get into it, that Bryant orientation sucked.
Oh, it really did, except for the game.
What about the Magic? What about the Magic show, Jack? No.
Oh, that was terrible. I was sitting in the back, not listening to a dang thing.
Dude, I was sitting up there with my orientation leader, and like when you're in the back, like you can do the deception stuff real easy. I remember he did like this thing with cards where you would flip it over, and because the lights were like bright on it, I was like sitting next to this guy, and I was sitting next to my orientation leader. I'm just like, hey, you see that card? There's like little holes in it that he can flip over to change the thing, and they were like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh. That Magic show, I'm sorry. That was a bust.
Oh yeah.
That was a bust.
The
only thing I liked was that game.
Yeah.
The Raptors versus the Warriors. That was the only good thing I liked.
Game 6 of the NBA Finals. We were checking it out. That was awesome.
That was great.
Like that was my welcome to Bryant moment for me, because I remember just sitting in that common room with people I just didn't even know, and we're just going nuts for a Toronto Raptors team.
Oh my gosh. I remember being after that Magic show, I was racing, either speed walking or sprinting back to the Warren common room and like getting that. I got the couch seat, so I was very excited, ready to get hyped up. Had my phone charger in, and I was like, okay, come on, Raptors, bring it home. And like, I think just because most people didn't want Golden State to win.
Yeah.
Just because the team they had.
Yeah, they were just so unfair at that time.
Yeah. Now I feel bad, but like, now I feel.
Here's the thing: you feel bad that now that like the Golden State has struggled and they've been through a lot, and I think a lot of that kind of stems from not KD leaving, because I think a lot of people were kind of like screw KD, but I think the reason a lot of people feel bad about it was the way that their kind of whole dynasty ended, and it ended with Klay Thompson absolutely blowing his knee out in Game 6. And while people were going nuts for the Raptors, I remember when Klay Thompson went up for that shot and came down and his knee just turned to jelly.
Oh gosh.
I remember the entire common room full of people. Like everyone was just like we went silent, and then we were just like, oh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that injury. Oh, I feel so bad for Klay. Because like that Warriors team, if he didn't get injured, they could have won that Game 6, honestly.
I think so, because dude, Klay Thompson was having himself a monster game. I remember too. Like he had like 30 plus points through 3 quarters. He was
him
not
and
missing.
KD both. KD made his like first 4 shots.
Well, KD was out. KD had already torn the Achilles at that point.
Was it Game 5 that happened?
Game 5.
Oh, it was Game 5. Okay.
Yeah, he tore the Achilles in Game 5, and then Klay tore his ACL in Game 6.
Oh my
Terrible series of events. Terrible series.
Poor Warriors, but like.
But dude, I remember.
I'm glad for Kawhi. That's all I'll say. I'm glad for Kawhi.
No, I'm glad for Kawhi too, and I think the main reason a lot of those injuries happened was 5 straight years of the postseason where you're getting the least amount of rest out of all these teams, and I feel like it just had a grind on them because they had to prepare for it every single year. And unfortunately for Klay, that was a freak injury. I think that was a freak injury for Klay, but
poor
crazy.
Klay. Like that it started. I don't know how his career is gonna go. I don't know if he's gonna be good again. I hope he will be. I think he will be. But like,
I think for the kind of player he is, like if Giannis had that injury, I would be very nervous for him. Like when obviously knock on wood, when KD had that Achilles injury, a lot of people were saying Kevin Durant might not be the same player ever again. Because at that point in time, when you have an Achilles injury, the only guy who had ever come back and was either as good or better was Dominique Wilkins. That was the only guy that had ever come back and been like that. Because you think of DeMarcus Cousins after his Achilles tear.
Oh no, he's on the Clippers now.
Yeah,
like he's on the Clippers. Exactly.
It's
Normally you're like Boogie Cousins, insane center. Now it's Boogie Cousins, the role player.
exactly.
And like, KD did well to come back from that. I'll give him that.
KD came back well from that. I'm in terms of a health standpoint, I don't like the guy as a player, but from a health standpoint, I'm glad that he's like doing well.
Snake. What a snake.
Klay Thompson, though, I felt so bad because he was slated to come back this year, and then in a workout, he hurt his other leg.
Oh,
yeah. And I think he tore his Achilles in his other leg. It was like this terrible series of events for him. So he had to miss this season, and it's looking like he'll be able to return for 2022. I don't know exactly when. I don't know if it'll be like halfway through that season or maybe he'll be there from the get-go. But when Klay Thompson returns, I really hope that he can, return to form. He was already saying that him and Steph Curry are going to lead the Warriors to the 2022 championship. Like, he's saying the Splash Brothers are going to be back. It's going to be, watch out.
Yeah, I think he will. Mm-hmm. I think he will, because the Splash Brothers were insane.
Yeah.
And like, Curry's already, like, this year, Curry was in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know. It's just with Klay back, and they were bubble team. They were not, the playoff, whatever they called it, the play-in tournament. Mm-hmm. But like, it was tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
I think Klay will get it. I think Klay. I don't think they'll win. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they'll win, but I will think they're definitely going back to the playoffs.
Oh yeah. And they're not going to need a play-in tournament this time around. They're going to make it as like a legit seed, I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't before, honestly.
I don't know. Just the injuries and all the stuff that happened with that really hurt them. But that kind of concludes what we have in basketball news. I did want to touch on something really quick in baseball news because, as I've kind of mentioned on the show previously, I am a big baseball fan. And, while this isn't in terms of the MLB, I did want to cover something that was really insane in my opinion. If I don't know if you watched college baseball by any means.
I did actually.
Did you hear about the whole thing with NC State and the College World Series?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I remember this. Oh my gosh.
NC State, I guess they got notified at 2:30 in the morning that, I guess due to broken COVID protocols or something, they got kicked out of the College World Series. Now, it was ridiculous in my mind because there's so many things wrong with it. I mean, listen, I get that, if this was, back when COVID was like at its full strength, it's tough, but I would have been like, okay, like, you're bubbling these teams off. You're doing the most to really keep these guys secluded. Like, you think of the NBA, they were playing at a high school gym for the NBA finals. Like, it was absurd. Like, the lengths we were going to keep people protected. It was like, okay, we're going to these lengths. MLB did not have a single fan in the stadium until October.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, hey, we're keeping this thing locked the hell down. No one is getting in. No one is getting out. But now you're seeing the College World Series, and the stadiums are packed to 100% capacity. People are packed out and going crazy, and they're still applying these rules like as if it's still March. Now, I get that you have to protect these players and protect the other teams too, but it just seems so wrong the way NC State was done here.
I think they could, if they really had to punish them next year for something.
Yeah.
Just like during the world, like, you can't do that. You really can't do that to a team.
No, and the thing that bugged me about it too wasn't like they said, like, all right, look, the COVID thing is getting bad here. Like, we're so sorry for you guys. It's a really tough thing that we have to do. The very next day, the NCAA baseball Twitter account was bragging about how many people they had in the stadium.
Like,
and I'm just
I didn't even see that, but like, that's crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that. You really can't.
I was on Twitter, and like the NCAA baseball account for like the World Series was saying 21,000 strong here in Omaha. I'm like, okay, and you also just ended some guys' careers.
Oh,
now, some of them may go pro, some may not, but you literally ruined these guys' careers. And
they lost a chance. They lost a chance. Emerging star could have came out of that team. You don't know.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, you're facing a team like Vanderbilt, you're facing all these guys, and it's going to be difficult. I'm not saying that it wouldn't have been, but you should have at least given them that shot.
You never know. You really never know. Any team could be a Cinderella team, or I wouldn't even call them a Cinderella because they were a really good team.
Yeah. But I mean,
they weren't.
Let's face it. I mean, when when it comes to college baseball, you're thinking of the teams that usually are in it. Vanderbilt is always the number one.
Always.
You know, LSU can always get in there too. Coastal Carolina is a team to always look at. Those are just some of the guys that you look for. NC State, you know, it's a good team, but you know, in terms of being a powerhouse like that, it's never, you know, usually like that. They were having a very great season, and to ruin it like that was absurd. Now, I was also hearing some stuff going down. I was like looking at some of the players' Twitter accounts. I guess one player, I guess they were going in for the COVID-19 test. And I guess there was someone at the testing center wherever they were going to, and someone had their phone out and was recording them. And I don't know exactly what was going on there, but the guy said it's illegal to, you know, under NCAA laws, it's illegal to be filming people at their medical appointments. And it was just like, why are you recording them there? Is there, and people were saying it almost seems like they were like trying to catch us for something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get that. And why would you record, to be fair? That is stupid, but
The NC State players weren't recording.
I thought it was the NC State players.
No, I think I'm pretty sure there was. I'm pretty sure it was a testing official was like filming.
Oh no!
And there was like some like one of the testing officials was recording, trying to catch an NC State player or something.
So is that the reason why?
No, but I think they were like trying to catch them on like some other grounds. I don't know what's going on, but people are like, this seems like very fishy.
There's got to be there's something else going on that we don't know.
No,
there has to be.
Now, do I think that there's some massive ploy to knock NC State out of the playoffs so Vanderbilt can be the champions again? And this is like some NBA level, like Tim Donaghy, like fixing the games type stuff. I don't think so. Now, if that's the case, this is the ultimate, like, then they manipulated the hell out of COVID. But
oh my gosh,
my God,
wow.
There's so many things though. I feel so bad for NC State, but I did want to touch on that. But I think it is officially time to say that we are now down to the wire, which means that we're going to go through everything we kind of talked about this episode in kind of a rapid fire little pace.
All right.
And then we'll see you guys on your way. Obviously, we welcomed Jack Boyden into the show. Jack, thank you so much for coming in once again. It was a great time to have you on.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's really fun. It was a great talk.
Yeah, I really hope to do this again with you too someday. So,
of course,
you know, if the Bucks end up winning the championship, maybe we'll have you back on here soon.
Oh yeah, I'll be back on. I'll be back on here if they win.
We'll do a little celebratory kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure, sure. I'll have my Giannis jersey. I'll have my freaking deer hat on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But obviously, we had Jack on the show. We talked about, you know, the current state of the Milwaukee Bucks. Talked about Giannis's injury and how they're going to perform, you know, as a result of it. We talked about how the NBA playoffs are in general, with so many stars kind of being out of it, and kind of it's turned into a little bit of a professional March Madness. We talked about the Celtics signing Ime Udoka, as well as Damian Lillard reportedly being disgruntled with the Portland Trailblazers head coaching search. We talked about Klay Thompson returning from his knee injury in 2022, hoping to, you know, revive the Splash Brothers with Steph Curry next year. And we talked about NC State getting kicked out of the College World Series due to COVID-19 protocols. If you're not falling down to the wire on social media yet at this point, what are you guys doing?
Exactly.
We're not only on Spotify, but we finally did get onto Apple Podcasts. Thank God. Finally figured out how to do that. But we're also on Google Podcasts, YouTube. But the main hub you can access us through is our Instagram. Our Instagram is at down.to-the-wire. Again, at down.to-the-wire. We'll have a bunch of polls up there, doing some fun stuff over there. Jack, if you want to, shout anything out, I'll let you do that at this point.
Honestly, this was a great show. Like, seriously, follow them. Follow Down to the Wire.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, because it looks like in the fall. It looks like in the fall we're going to end up getting some new equipment at the radio station. I was just hearing that the radio station is going to be really nice in the fall, so I can't wait to do shows from there and get some more live guests in. But from Down to the Wire, I'm Brian Costa.
And I'm Jack Boyden.
And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.